Today, 74 Republican lawmakers sent a letter to Governor Rick Scott of Florida calling on him to suspend Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel for not adequately foreseeing the signs that led up to the school shooting that was in that county a little over a week ago. And in reading this article and kind of just sitting there and thinking about it, I had a conclusion that came upon me a little bit quicker than most other ones do, where you read something the first time and it's just that thing you're reading. It was very telling that the students who have become activists in the aftermath of this shooting are going after lawmakers, rightfully so, for not proposing any legislation in the days and weeks or week following the event. And now the lawmakers are going after the officers and various forms of law enforcement for not go. It's a. I'd compare it to this downward slope. So you have the students at the top, you have the politicians in the middle, and then you have the lawmakers at the bottom. Um, and the students, if they survive, they're able to live productive, lucrative lives. These students have actually taken the time out of their days, and tried to do something with the fear and trauma that's been instilled on them by this onslaught they saw last week. It's a very commendable practice. Now, in the case of these lawmakers, they know that, yeah, we'll probably have someone, say some mean stuff about us in the media, and we'll likely maybe lose a couple of votes. But other than that, nice pension, go back to my regular job. Now, I feel bad for law enforcement for the fact that they're going to have to face criticism on both sides for their handling of this. You had the governor calling out the FBI director and saying that he should resign over this case, when he himself, referring to Governor Scott, has had multiple mass shootings occur under his reign that have reached national media attention, whether it was Orlando or Fort Lauderdale or this one last week. But I think it's very telling that all of these Republican lawmakers, instead of saying, this shooting happened, what can we do to respond to it from our position as lawmakers? No, instead of trying to combat it with something such as a bill or, some kind of conference on figuring out what can be done to solve this, they go after one person, all join up together and try to get the governor to do the same. And that's really despicable. So I'm disgusted by their behavior. If there was any decency in the electoral process in Florida, and I'm not speaking negatively about the people that live in that state, because, Lord knows the electoral system in my home state of California could certainly use some improving. But if there was any decency, all of the lawmakers that signed that would just get thrown out of office in the span of the next few years, whenever their terms end or they're up for re-election. But we can't always have a happy ending. And unfortunately, what's become part of the morbid ending is to have blame being cast around everywhere instead of looking for solutions. Ironically enough, by the people who have the power to do something but choose not to.